A lot of people have asked me over the years of me streaming online and being on YouTube why I left.
An empathy enjoyer.
Hello?
Greetings.
What up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Nice. How's it going?
It's going well. I've had a very productive day.
What are you working on?
I have been doing some editing. I got something cooking up. I went
be kept
to
under wraps.
Walgreens to do some take some passport photos, and Anissa and I ate some ketchup chips and some mustard chips.
Ooh, are you in Canada or something, or isn't that a Canadian
We're headed
thing?
there.
Ah. So you're
Yeah.
warming up.
Yeah, we're warming up. We're live, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry, I keep forgetting to mention that to my guests.
No,
but
I mean, it should be obvious. I just felt, for some reason, I felt the need to ask.
always good to check. Yeah, we're live. This is day 6 of the stream, and I'm glad you were down to come on. You were a highly requested guest. Because we're gonna
Of course. Fucking
farm
awesome,
drama and debate and all that. Yeah, I mean, is there anything you wanted to talk about in terms of the internet?
dude. Not really. I'm open to anything. I saw you were playing some of those geography games before this, and fucking, I like that shit.
Play a little GeoGuessr? Yeah, I'm super down.
I mean, I'm also, I'm good to debate. I'm good to talk shit. I'm good to, just talk about what's happening on Twitter, elsewhere.
What is happening
we can
on
talk
Twitter?
about we can talk about Ethan Klein's Instagram stories. We can talk about the Palestinian plight. We can talk about what my dog was doing today.
All sorts of good topics. I guess we'll start with something small like the Palestinian plight. When you were talking about it in the, I guess, video, you brought up the topic of like Israel-Palestine in kind of through the lens of what Ethan was saying about it and how this group of creators were talking about it. I was wondering if there was much in that more political vein that you wanted to say and perhaps didn't talk about in the video intentionally, given the target audience, or like if that even was a an intentional choice, or just to keep it focused more on the I guess the stuff with you and Ethan specifically, if that was like more the
Yeah.
goal.
That's a good question. I think I'm still kind of trying to find my place on the internet, and I think I want to be productive, and I want to do things that I, and speak on things that I care about. But I also know there's like different ways of doing that. I see videos like that you make, and a lot of the people that you've brought onto your stream, and something that I've noticed with a lot of your guys' stuff is that it's so information dense, and it isn't drama. It's like, it's a little further down the funnel. And I feel like, I might be a little bit more top of the funnel, and I really don't mind that. And I kind of want to, I think it's fine to be, to say free Palestine and also roll around in some of the drama slop. And, I just think for some people who are a little bit more like, I don't know, apolitical or just like not really engaged, that a video like mine might be their first exposure to it potentially. And so I know that, to not make some people fall asleep, it being on something that people obviously care about, a little bit more, I don't know, casually. It's the drama stuff. So that's the main reason. It's just like I want, and that's another reason as well. There's so many like well-educated people to speak on this, and I feel like I don't necessarily want people to get the the full scoop and the full bread from me. Just like an intro potentially.
Yeah, I could see that. I think a lot of creators have that same feeling as like post October 7th, where it's like the feeling where you should be speaking on this and the kind of moral imperative to speak on it, but also not having necessarily a firm background or academic background on the subject can kind of cause apprehension, I think, and that's understandable. I think the way you brought it in, I'm glad you brought it into the video, especially under the circumstances of like, this is what Ethan's saying. And I'm wondering, or this is what Ethan's saying, the video is about Ethan, but obviously these things mean a lot more if you're aware of the full context of like what he said about Yoav Gallant, or I mean just any of the clips you played of him talking. And I'm wondering what the response was like from people, if there was any sort of inquisitive comments about the politics of the situation, like were people like like, oh, like what you're talking about, top of the funnel, like did you get that sense from some? I know a lot of it was about the drama, but did you see anything, whether in the comments or elsewhere on the internet, that like led you towards the belief that the video is serving as a top funnel?
Yeah. It's really hard, right? There's a lot of comments, and it seems like I got, like, from what I could tell, like a pretty even mixture, 50-50. Like some people are like, oh, this is way too like into politics. They thought there's a lot of people who thought the video was too centered around Israel Palestine. I was like, that's, in my mind, that's crazy, because I felt like it was just the smallest touch of that. And then there were some people who said the exact opposite, and they were like, oh, this is something that should have been addressed behind closed doors. Like, this is way like personal. This is your personal gripe or whatever that you're, making public. So I got a little bit of both. And I'm pretty satisfied with that, because I feel like that's probably the sweet spot. If people can say both of those things.
Yeah. You said you were still searching for a space on the internet, or a space with what you're making. Obviously, after you went woke, that has made it like you're in a new space that you have to navigate. And where are you at in that process now, since you went woke, and then also since the response to the content, the H3 video, maybe, if that's changed the trajectory at all?
I think a lot of it for me is just like confidence, and just trying to, feel good, feel proud, feel fucking energized, and like want to, roll around in the shit, clap back, and not feel like not be so like paralyzed that you're like fucking doing damage. And like, to be honest, I think just to have a little bit more purpose. And I feel super jazzed up after this, and I hope this is just the beginning, because I want to, I don't know, there's some of that energy that I think people like recall from old iDubbbz videos, and they're like, I want that old unhinged iDubbbz energy, that kind of shit. And I kind of get what they're saying, and I think a lot of it is just generally having passion, and that coming through in the videos. So yeah, I think it's a process, but I think this was a big step for me, to say fucking enough's enough, and also just realizing the fallout and the consequences of that, because I think it's important. I think there's a lot more people who should be fucking, at least with Ethan specifically, like drawing the line, being like, fuck no, like you're not gonna talk about me like that online, you're not gonna rope me into your shit. And if because it's all also political, everything's political, you have to acknowledge that element as well. I'm not gonna run away from that.
Yeah, when it comes to someone like I guess I don't want to talk about Ethan too much, but I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you saw the guy who made the content cop about you right after the H3 content cop was outed as a
that came
pedophile.
Across my feed.
Was outed as a child rapist, which is no laughing matter, but it is crazy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a sort of little abridged description of it from Anissa, and I mean, it I don't know, it is what it is. I try to not give it too much attention,
Yeah, sure.
But I think he was raising money on his video, so that's that's a good thing
for
like cancer or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Not like a
Yeah.
legal defense thing. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I think about it a lot, like the way commentary YouTube looks, and the way it's changed over time, and now like the political space of YouTube becoming more prominent. And it sounds like when you're talking about what you want to do, it's there's a focus on how you're working on your art. I don't know if you would call it art, but like how you're working on making a video and wanting to be passionate about it. Do you see a space where that passion would channel into more strict politics, or is your view of content still, I guess, more content focused or more on the art side?
Yeah. No, that has been a question that I've been thinking a lot about lately. And I think, back in the day, I think one of my insecurities was like I didn't really want to kind of get I didn't want to be known for like one particular thing. I was like, oh no, I don't want to be the Kickstarter crap guy or the content cop guy. But I think I'm a little bit over that now, and I think I've realized that a lot of my interests are political, and in a lot of these like past videos that I've made, they, quite a few of them, whether I'm like complaining about a particular topic or doing a content comp on something, there is this like underlining idea or like, idea that I'm like fighting for or fighting against. So yeah, I do see my content going a lot more political, because yeah, I mean, it fucking matters to me, and I don't like it. I like what I was doing in the past in terms of like being able to be more top of the funnel, but it felt very like immature and kind of like what's the word, just kind of apathetic, I guess, and that is like the name of the game when you're doing like kind of slop tuber commentary. It's just, pretend that it's all, you're above it all, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's true in some sense, but also there's a moral element to being a slop tuber and shitting on someone that's doing something that's fucked up, that everyone can see is fucked up, and building it up and then shitting on them for doing fucked up stuff is exactly what an audience wants, because you're communicating that to them. Like you're I guess setting a precedent on a social mores about like, oh, if you act like this on the internet, somebody's gonna shit on you and it's gonna get a lot of views. And I think that was one of at least when I remember watching them and saying, yeah, like that's there's like a broader thing going on here. And I know as you're making things, you probably don't think about it like that, but the structure of YouTube and YouTube commentary is kind of like, it feels like that. Find a target and critique them, and that can be used for good, obviously, and it can be used for bad, like lol cows ending up killing themselves and whatever else. It's a I don't know, I think I try to relate it back to politics and think like, does that structure of like looking at an Ethan Klein and saying like what he's doing is harmful in a lot of ways, is that connected, do you think, to this old approach of like finding a target, even though it might have felt like childish at the time? I mean, that's still the fundamental structure of what a lot of YouTube is, right? It's criticize, it's find something, criticize it, and then depending on how the audience takes it, go from there. Like critical videos get shit on sometimes, and they get, they run.
Yeah.
A creator gets run off the internet because they made a bad dunk video. I mean, you got a lot of backlash for the content, the latest content cop, I know. So you can handle it, I know, because you've been doing it for a long time, but a lot of people can't. But yeah, do you see any similarities? Like,
yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think when I was speaking on that, I guess like that was one of the reasons why I felt comfortable, bringing back Content Cop, is I was like, oh, I have like a different perspective going into this, and I feel like my critiques are like, they're way more in line with what I fuck with, rather than kind of what I see the internet fucking with. Like, because in these past videos, it's like, okay, well, like, what does the internet not like about this person? And in a lot of cases, it was just really dumb shit, really petty shit. It's like, the harshest criticism of Rice Gum was like, yeah, he's arrogant and he flaunts his money. And it's like, okay, like, that's not, it was, it's maybe a good video, maybe entertaining video, but didn't really didn't fulfill me, I think, in a better way, and I don't think it was like in line with what my purpose is. So yeah, I do think there is some necessity to it, and I do like the idea of these videos like holding people accountable, even if it's just the fear of like a video being made about you. It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, that looming threat of someone making a video about you is like, I think it's, for for some people, it maybe it doesn't mean much, but I think, until you're there, you really don't know what that feels like. I know a lot of friends, myself, you obviously, like, the fear of someone fucking doing a hit piece, or like just kind of going through your life, auditing your online life, is just kind of, yeah, that's a threat.
Yeah, it's a threat, and then it's also, once it gets done, there's a potential snowball effect, and I know you've seen this, where somebody makes a video, and immediately that person's friend and friends and friend group and map of content creators all make functionally the exact same video, and then it's like, oh, there's a monetary aspect of it that gets wrapped up into it, and then I've been seeing it more and more with, I guess, people like you, people like Hassan. And I'm wondering, I guess, like you're saying, when you look back and identify the surface level critiques of someone like Ricegum that are just like very simplistic, like, oh, this shit is annoying and cringe, which it is. Are there trends you see now that, like, that's obviously stayed? How have you seen it, like, stay? And does that, like, motivate you to want to continue trying to have a more of a political or more of a in-depth commentary, I guess?
Yes, I think I've been surprised by how much it's stayed. There are a lot of things, Ethan as an example, there are a lot of things to like mock him about, bring up, make him look stupid, all this sort of shit. Like, the fucking tattoos are insane. Like, I really like wanted to goof and rag on this guy, especially in the first video, but I'm like, this is so not like what I really care about. It just feels, mean-spirited, and I held back a lot. I deleted a lot from my fucking timeline, where I'm like, this really is not it. At least for me. I know that a lot of people who dislike Ethan would probably be like, oh, you're deleting the gold, the juicy stuff. But ultimately, it just didn't feel right to me. Maybe in the future, I'll feel like, and I am kind of being validated a little bit, because I'm realizing, like, oh yeah, like, Ethan is like fucking posting on his stories, like fucking, he's like trying to make memes. Like, he's trying to do all of these, like, he's trying to appeal to like incels on the internet and shit. And I'm like, oh, like, that's what the fight is? Like, I didn't even realize we were at that level. So I don't know. I think I went in expecting something like a little bit more, a gentleman's game,
Yeah.
But nah, it's just fucking throwing shit, which is, it has its place.
Yeah, I mean, the fact you're talking about the instinct, or you pulling back on your more surface level, more like edgier and less substantive critiques, I think that speaks to a certain level of growth, where you make that video 5 years ago, it looks way different. You're talking about that fucked up tattoo for way longer than you would need to talk about the politics of the situation. And it does feel great to do that. Like, when you're writing something, shitting on someone for something that's an easy dunk for the crowd that wants you to talk about it, and for yourself, it just feels good. But then obviously you made a more mature decision, even though the video itself, I don't know, you can talk about the intended effect, because we talked a little bit about it before when you reached out for like commentary on the end of it. But I think for your intent, he shit on the video for, 12 hours and made a lot of content off of it. And I don't know, it seemed like not much of the points made any contact, which, it's like, okay, if that's going to happen anyways, what's the point in even trying to be civil about it?
Yeah.
But also, you did that for a reason. It sounds like you're standing on it, because, that's it's not as important, and you know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to be part of change, and I think part of my thought process in making a video like this is like, well, I could fucking take heat from Ethan. Like, I've been getting it from slop tubers for the past, you know, I don't know, since Anise and I got together. So, like, I don't mind being a lightning rod or being an additional lightning rod for like Ethan's ire. But I think I didn't really. I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect. I don't know, the commentary community as a whole to be so like fucking. I don't know. Maybe they just don't think that there's like much in the way of views to get out of it, because I don't know. I look like there's so much fucking content coming out of that podcast, and I'm just like, yeah, this could literally be like an infinite back and forth. Like, there is so much fucking footage to sift through. There's like, and I can't believe that, you know, the space is just like not really that interested in it. I don't know. It just surprises me.
I was gonna ask, where do you think that comes from? Because it was kind of an immediate coalesce around Ethan kind of thing, and I know there's a lot of like, you betrayed the community, so we're gonna shit on you no matter what you do. And with each new thing you do, you're woker and more cringe and cucked than the last video. So that's gonna be their thought, regardless of what you say. That's gonna be thought process. But it still, in some sense, surprises you that they're, or not surprises, maybe the word, but it's disappointing almost, or like boggles the mind that the low hanging fruit of the stuff he's saying is just being completely ignored.
I think it's probably, now that I'm giving it more thought, I think it's just like what the audience looks like. Like, I talked to Hassan about this briefly. Like, the fucking, like, if you look at my comment section right now in the content comp, it definitely gives you probably, I mean, I guess I don't know, first fucking 20 are probably all like painfully average, you know, comments. But if you get into, like, if you're trying to like get an opinion, like, what does the internet think about this video? You sort of by newest or whatever you want to do, you're going to walk away thinking that like the internet hates it. Like, everyone hates the video. All the points were bad. I betrayed my friend. I, you know, want to make a quick buck.
So the like dislike ratio was like 100% dislikes. They say that they like
right, that. Exactly. And I don't know, like, seeing things on the back end, I'm just like, I don't see it that way, but I know that other commentary channels, regular people, when they're trying to get a temperature check about how people feel about this, they're gonna, like, you know, if the like dislike isn't giving them much of a vibe, they are gonna go to the comments, and they are going to you know, use that as a template for how they should feel about it. Not in all cases, but, you know, they want to have an understanding. They want to be tapped in, because I think a lot of people, that is like it's important. You know, I want to know what people are thinking about a video, generally speaking. But I think we're in kind of a new era. Like, this might be, you know, just maybe a left versus right in commentary or something. But I think there's a big force of really loud people in the comments, and they scare people away. And especially if it's brigaded fast and quickly, like within the first 24 hours of it being uploaded. There's been a lot of people to put out commentary videos about Ethan, and they go bye-bye. Like, they're like, fuck this. I do not want the smoke. I do not want the heat. And even if it's like not genuine at all, it's like, there are people out there in different communities that are like, I'm going to get on this shit, and I'm going to make them feel like the internet's against them, and this is the fucking end of their career.
Which videos are, I mean, do any come to mind specifically about?
I mean, I think the left, or the snark, the H3 snark has like kept track of them. There was like one smaller commentary channel. I think they may have focused on like fucking like Ethan's topics, or Ethan talking about Markiplier maybe. I'm not sure what it was specifically, but that one got nuked. There was a woman who made one. Oompaville was another one. Do you
Oh,
know
really?
Oompaville?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oompaville made one that was like, again, it was one of these ones that I think it's the type of video that is just gonna upset both sides of the aisle, because I think, I mean, I'll if this is an inaccurate representation of what the video was, someone can correct me, but I think it essentially came down to like, yeah, they're both kind of being assholes, but we're all assholes, so what are you gonna do? Like, he like kind of followed like the whole back and forth of the story, and then just was like super apathetic by the end of it. And it's like, oh man, this is like, I don't know. It's I it's fair if you just want entertainment, but I think people very quickly from both sides said like, this video fucking sucks, and he privated it or deleted it, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And I think there was one other one that was like of a medium to big size creator. But yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of right now the kind of the opposite, where he's been saying enough stuff and people are starting to talk about it with these videos that are starting to get more and more views, and it's like basically viable to talk about the shit he's doing. At least from my vantage point, these videos are all more political in nature, and I guess I haven't really seen like a full commentary like, this is what this guy did video. I'm sure they're out there, but I mean, I see that because obviously due to the political element of it as a positive change, and it's a positive change in the vein of free speech as well. I mean, there's, yeah, just being able to make a video without getting shit on to the point where you quit YouTube. Like, that's a good thing, kind of regardless of the videos you're making. But yeah, I'm wondering, like, from where you see it, like that broader, more important goal, some like not caving to apathy, as it would with a video that maybe would have been made 5 years ago about the same situation. Where do you want to see things go, like in your politics or in what you accomplish outside of wanting to make good videos? What is your kind of underlying motivations there?
I think I just want other people to feel like they can speak, that it won't be the end of the world. Like, I guess empowering. I would like to empower other people because, I feel like, I mean, in some ways I felt that same way back when I made the Keemstar content cop, because Keemstar was being a total asshole on the internet, and he was a bit of a scary character. It's as soon as I made that video, people were like, "Oh, it's on," they went after him, and I think that it did something. But yeah, I think I want more people to ride the fence a little bit less, and I know it's hard because you're giving up your the cushy seat that you're in, and it's it's really hard. I think there's a lot of like guys like you and me, just like fucking commentary white dudes who are like this, they have a pulse on what the internet feels, what the what a lot of people are like, and I think I just want them to be like, yeah, I have enough fucking clout, I have enough money, I can start taking some fucking risk and say, you know what, I don't fucking agree with this shit. Like I would be very happy with that. The fucking Asmongold's, the Moist Criticals, the Oompavilles, I don't know. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, the top views but fence riding creators that could be doing something more. But I mean, yeah, I have trouble grasping the getting like 10 million views a day and just still not wanting to ever do anything more than that. And it's like, I guess that's, you make a lot of money to the point where what are you even doing with that? Who fucking knows? But then, yeah, how does that structure change? And does it change? That's, I don't know. It's like a question to think about. Are the material incentives of staying ideologically aligned with the creators in your space too great to actually affect positive change? And is it too great to, like people will be making videos, hate videos about you probably years into the future when a lot of these ideas, I think over time will be deconstructed, like Zionism, or like the harshness towards people of color on the internet in videos, the harshness towards woke video games. Like, I feel like you're already seeing a shift in that regard, as in people just sound a little insane when they make anti-woke videos, and they always did, but more people are like, yeah, I mean, this is the 100th time you've talked about boobs in video games this week, and like, I don't, like, you're getting views,
Right.
but it's the dynamic of I guess information on the internet leads it. Like, I don't see the trend going rightwards. I think young people, TikTok people, social attitudes statistically are leaning left as people die, I guess. And I don't know, people, it seems like people will hang on as long as they can still make money, and if they're successful right now, they probably will always have an audience. But I guess taking a stand, or just like even a liberal stand at a time where everyone else is right wing on the internet, is kind of like it's not necessarily an easy thing, even though it's still, where white dudes making money on the internet, probably just being fine. It's not going to affect us that much. We're not brave warriors by any means, but it's like it's a very hostile space, regardless of what you look like, to anything that's left of liberal, I guess, or left of centrist.
It's hard, but I think it's kind of like I just want like a lot of these creators to realize like how much grace their fucking audience will give them. Like, a lot of these creators like haven't gotten to the stage where like I feel like I upset a huge amount of my audience by virtue of my apology, and essentially saying like, yeah, like, I don't agree with what I was doing, therefore, like, you know, if you enjoyed watching this stuff, like, I was sort of implying that you are a bad person if you still watch it and you still enjoy that kind of thing. So I was like, you know, that was kind of, I think, hard mode for a lot of people to like accept. And I just want other creators to be like, listen, fucking, you being a little bit more fucking, like, I don't know, political is not the end of the world for your like career online. Like, even what was that? Like, there's those anime guys that had Hassan on their podcast. They're like a group of anime guys, Joey and Connor and someone else, and I think they essentially got bullied to like take their video down or not have Hassan in their on their podcast again or some shit. And I'm just like, man, like, you just need to push through that shit. That is so weird. And, you know, clearly they fuck with him personally to a certain extent. And just having your audience just like have like full control over you, I just think is so, I don't know. It's not freedom. It's not what I think. A lot of them think that they have the freedom to do and say what they want, but I think they're some of the least free creators.
Yeah, that's a good frame. I think of it a lot of times as cowardice, and there's maybe some involvement of cowardice, but also it is restraint by your actual financial material interests, and it's unfortunate, and it's not necessarily like a personal decision to be like, oh, like they're gonna get me, I gotta like capitulate to their ideas. But I mean, Hassan is just one example of like, yeah, most places on the internet, if you bring him on the show, people are gonna freak out because of the amount of content about the stuff he says. And I know you had him in the content cop, right? And there's like in the same way we saw the reaction of like the Twitch tier list, the Habibi Pass tier list, just complete insanity, but so much content gets made about this thing that it becomes a thing where, in order to speak out against how this is like kind of pretty racist and pretty crazy, that these people are being banned from Twitch for just joking while Arab, it's rare that people were even talking about it on YouTube, especially. And that's I don't know,
I like that saying, joking while Arab.
That's what it was, literally. It was like joking, like,
that's
saying
great. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh god, I was gonna say something. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah, like the choice to have Hassan in the video, that's another thing that I noticed in the comments. Is I think there are so many people, like, that was a very active choice on my part. I was like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're such a bitch for having this guy in your video. And I'm like, no, I think I would be a major bitch if I didn't take a fucking stand and had this guy in my video. Because I think a lot of them come from this place of like, you need to appeal to the most like wide. You need to cast your net so fucking wide. And I think the expectation was like, be on your own island. Do not like, you should be afraid of associating with these people. And I didn't want to do that because I think that is like, that's super weak in my mind. I'm like, no, I fucking agree with a lot of the things that these creators have to say. Like, to disinclude them would be just a fucking wimp move in my mind. So I think I just want to say that because there are a lot of people who think like this, taking the centrist approach is like, the ultimate win. And I just couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, it's the centrist approach, and it's the I don't like this guy, and the politics comes secondary because he's left. I'm now centrist kind of factor.
Yeah.
Where like I'm sure many comments of people saying like Hassan included L, like you are now anything from communist to terrorist to like just cringe. And I don't know. I think a lot of the conflict that's happened in the last 6 months to a year, it seems like has been from people that kind of maybe they care about things and they want to make things better and they have convictions, or at least they try to, and people that don't and either want to make money or are very stupid and don't care at all about the things they're talking about and about the people they're criticizing. And it's bizarre seeing that happen over the last year, where it's like these conflicts keep happening with people like Asmongold or Ethan or Mutahar or any of these people that just I think personally are quite dumb and they don't really care. And like maybe there's some part of them that has some like political convictions buried deep within, material incentives and not actually caring and wanting to, I guess, audience capture like you were talking about. But it just feels it feels like just way too, this is about me, this is about how I feel about that person, and this is about this like one-to-one interaction rather than the bigger picture of like what they're trying to say and how you're trying to engage in the content. Because that's just, you don't like a guy, you want to see him get shit on. It doesn't really matter the reason they're shitting on him. It could be political and they could be wrong in heinous ways, or it could just be this guy fucking looks weird and he sucks, and it doesn't matter at that point. But even though drawing intense meaning out of that is still like an audience of people that hate this person for various reasons, they're not like necessarily like explicitly political actors. Like it's not like, oh, they're gonna go do a hate crime because they don't like a leftist online. A lot of times they just think they're cringe, and in the same way people have thought people were cringe on the internet always. But I guess the difference now is that these two spaces are interacting, and it feels weird. Like it's kind of like it feels weird, and you are kind of one of the people in the middle of the transitory space, and that's kind of probably a weird position to be in.
It is. I super feel it right now with the talking points that are being used. Like there's a lot. It's shocking. Like Ethan is using fucking like clips and like rhetoric that I've heard over the past decade from my haters, and I'm just like, oh, this is wild. Like we are not we're in a very different era, and I kind of forget that there is this aspect of the internet where kind of what they're concerned about. I think there are some people who are concerned about like who is winning and like who is cool. Like who is the winning person, who is the cool person. I think most of the times that is like, the same person. I think all of the people who are like, who is like literally winning the argument and who is like presenting a better case. I think a lot of those people are just silent, At most they're clicking like on a video, but they're not gonna fucking put in like the labor to like make sure their guy wins or their girl wins. They're just gonna fucking kind of move on because they got a life.
Yeah. or they're not that charged about it in a parasocial manner. It's the
Right.
ideas they're more focused on, so they're less incentivized to be
Totally.
like, fuck this other guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I see it, at least.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's going on with, if you want to talk about it, the creator clash stuff? I know you said you stepped away. How are you feeling about that stuff?
Good. I mean, I feel free, you know, I want to be able to fucking say what I want and, you know, not worry about, you know, putting other people in weird positions or whatever. So I feel good. I hope that the event is a success. Yeah, it's,
I guess inverse question is, what does it feel like to see people, I guess, celebrating that a charity event might fail because you're the one who started it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they want to fucking blame me, again, it's fucking, like, it makes me so mad because I'm like, fucking, like, do and say whatever to me specifically, you know, like, hurt me and my wife as much as you want, you fucking losers. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they're missing the entire point. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, you know?
Yeah, I can't imagine it does, but I feel like that's another case of the personal is transcending any semblance of things that are important, or like any principles of like, what was the charity for? Like cancer research, or I don't even remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
stand up to cancer.
Cancer is bad, comes below, I don't like this guy. And I'm going to talk about not liking this guy before I talk about cancer is bad. Because I don't really care about either, but I'm more likely to make videos out of fuck that guy. And whoever gets in the way of that, even if it's kids with cancer, fuck them. All right? Fuck you. I want to talk shit. It feels insane a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is, I think the common defense from the other side would be something along the lines of like, don't use charity as a shield. But I think they completely missed the point that it's like, it's not a shield. It's just like, hurt me as much as you want. You know, it's basically saying like, you do not have a case. You are not winning. You are not hurting me. So you're trying to find other ways to hurt me. You are like, you're kind of by attacking this other thing, by triangulating this other thing, you are proving that nothing's working, you know?
Yeah.
And
oh man.
I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't, you know, I don't want to give it too much like time and attention, but yeah, it is fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I see a through line of what you're talking about using something as a shield, when the shield is a good thing, but Israel-Palestine using a genocide to deflect from criticism. Like, stop doing that, because you're using it in a way that, like, you don't actually care about it. You're only doing this thing because you want to protect yourself, or only doing this thing because you want to get away with being naughty online. And it's like, how, for the average person, how fucking insane do you sound that you're going through making some type of big charity event, or going through and just like advocating against the most obviously immoral thing that's happened so clearly in front of all of our eyes in a very long time, just saying that that's bad and that the people doing that need to be held accountable. Is somehow these people are able to frame that as like, oh, you're just talking about that because you want to be, you know, you want to, like, you want to.
They're mad because it's a way to defend yourself. Like, in there, I mean, it's a bit of projection, right? Like, I think it kind of exposes their way of thinking, where it's like, yeah, it would be really fucking handy if I had like a genocide to use as my defense or whatever. And it's like, not like, that's not that's not where other people are coming from. They're coming from, this is bad, and I'm going to bring up the important thing that should be on the front of all of our minds. Like, how can you not?
Yeah, and the inevitable result of, you know, don't talk about this thing because I'm mad at you for some other insignificant thing, is getting people to not talk about the thing. And that's just, you know, that's how you end up supporting a thing, is by when it needs to be talked about, just shutting people up. And yeah, I don't know. That's been the frustrating thing that I've seen. But
yeah.
Well,
I like the hair, by the way. I think that's a good look.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a challenge for the stream. I think it was for like 100K, 150K, and we ran out of dye, so I only got half. But I kind of like the half and half. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it.
That is good.
I know you gotta head out soon, so don't want to keep you too long, but
It's all good. I've enjoyed it. It feels good to speak on some of these things because it's don't have too many opportunities to do it. I'll slave away in my videos to try to make a point, but there's too many points to be made.
yeah, it's a good opportunity. I don't know, chatting with people, especially because I mean, you have a podcast, right? And I don't know how
We've taken it
frequently.
offline though. We're just on Patreon now exclusively.
Oh, nice. Smart. But that's I feel like when you're just dropping videos, it's hard to people will form a perception of you based on a condensed version of the things you think and arguments and video edits, and that's it can lead people to have perceptions about you that you're not like a person that has complex thoughts and thinks things about.
Yeah. Well, I think the podcast and live stream format is such a great way to I mean, I need to be exposed to it more because I'm still to this day, I just worry because I think I want to like fully formulate a thought or a position about a particular topic. And I'm like, I have a lot of feelings about a lot of issues. And it just feels like it feels irresponsible to kind of freely talk about it on air in front of a live audience. Cause I'm like, I haven't it's really important for me to communicate how I feel about something effectively. And if it feels like I'm only like 50% there, I'm like, what a waste, man. Like I needed to save that, craft it, and put into a video.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very good instinct to have, to just not want to speak on things until you fully understand them. That's how I've always been. I don't like really going live and talking about things or even like working through research on things. But just in the last like week of streaming, it feels like it's a lot of times it's helpful even to just be like, I don't know shit about this, so maybe you can tell me something about it and maybe we can postulate. But beyond that, I don't know anything, and I'll want to learn about it. So like, let's learn about it, or let's. I just did a stream where we did like a GeoGuessr thing. I don't know if you saw, but I'm literally an idiot when it comes to countries and states, and I'm American, so that's probably a part of it. But it's like, that's kind of embarrassing. That's going online and doing something I wouldn't do in a scripted video where I'm supposed to be smart. But in a lot of ways we aren't smart about certain things. So I think it's it's
good.
cool you're doing a podcast.
It's very humanizing. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I like those authentic moments. I mean, that's I guess the benefit that I've kind of learned over the years is that people give you a lot of grace when you are live streaming. You can say a lot, you can be a lot dumber, and people, they fuck with it. So it's cool. I'll try to do more of that.
Except the slop tubers who make the clips. Everybody, normal people fuck with that, I think, making mistakes.
Yeah, true.
One last question. Did you send the skulls? What is your opinion on the skulls, and did you send them?
I didn't send the skulls. I don't know. I thought the skulls thing was kind of humorous to hear that. Especially when I heard that they were like from skulls.com or some shit like that. That made it funny. Yeah,
just a death threat to a father, a family.
Yeah. Was it a death threat?
I'm just kidding. No. Skulls.com with the serial number still attached and the packaging still on it.
To be honest, I didn't know anything about it because I think it was linked to as like was it a response to my content cop, or was that before? I don't even remember.
Do you think he sent the skulls himself?
I don't. Let's put it this way. I don't endorse sending skulls to anyone's houses, especially
What if they ordered from skulls.com?
If you run skulls.com and someone places an order for skulls in the LA area, like, I think it is your duty to not make that shipment happen. I think you should stop that shipment at all costs. All right, dude. Well,
all right, man. I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I think we raised probably 5,000 since you've been here. So that's super awesome.
Good grind. Well, thank you guys. And good job fucking raising the money. I think that's sick as fuck. And free Palestine.
Yes, sir. Free Palestine. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Bye.
Skulls in the chat. I'm dead. What do we think? What do you think of our 20th woke interview? Million skulls. Yeah, it's good. I started writing questions to ask him 20 minutes before the thing, so there's probably other stuff I could have touched on, but surely some clippable moments. Please donate. Please donate. What are we at with the total?
Yeah, that's good. I support it. I support it. But now I'm going to pee.
An empathy enjoyer.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up.